What was the Luka Kyrie finals experience like compared to Steph, compared to those guys?
Uh, I mean, obviously, Steph went crazy against us, and um, just kind of, we were a different team, but like he just kind of like imposed his will, and we didn't really have an answer for that. Um, Whereas like if Luka or Kyrie, they went on a run or they hit a tough shot, like we just kind of got it out and like we moved on. Like we didn't let it snowball
Yeah.
as much as in 22 when Steph would hit a tough shot or Steph would go on one of those runs. Like now we let it snowball into like a 17-5 run. Whereas this one we're like, all right, we can get it out now. We got to execute offensively, and so I think a lot of growth from us. And I mean, obviously Kyrie and Luka were tough to guard.
Yeah.
48 minutes of um, just locked in on the game plan, locked in on what we're trying to take away, how we can try to limit them as best we can. And everybody that checked in was 100% locked in on that. And we try to make it as difficult as we can on them.
We're going to get to Steph in a second, but do you think some of this is just obviously just finals experience, and going through that process with him and with those guys who had been there so much before. And now when you guys are coming back to this, none of this is new. And I think you guys talked about it a little bit in some of the post games during the series itself, but of just like understanding the stakes of where you're at and not letting it throw you off and allow those runs to happen because, you're overwhelmed by the moment at all.
Yeah, I mean, we had all been there before, except maybe KP. So, like, we weren't afraid of the moment, and we weren't, like, in awe. I think I remember the first finals, like, when we were recording, like, what's going on, like, taking pictures of the finals patch on the jersey. Like, all these things are just brand new, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is what I dreamed about. And then this time, I'm just like, all right, this is where we're supposed to be. This is what we're supposed to do. And so I think maybe the awe factor wasn't as big as the first time we did it. Like, you know what to expect. You understand the media before the games. Like, you understand all the questions you're going to have to answer. And so just having that previous was definitely a big, but like even like losing the conference finals and why did we lose in the conference finals? Like what little plays did we do wrong that we didn't really make those same mistakes as this last postseason.
Steph in both games, but really when it's at the end of the France game where he's going nuts. You've been on. We talked about before. You've been on both sides of this now, which is pretty rare, I would say. How would you describe that feeling in the moment as a teammate? Having had to face it in the highest stage of the NBA.
Yeah, it's much better to be on the same side when he's going like that, but. I think like especially like early on he wasn't making shots like he normally does, so you kind of knew that it was eventually gonna explode. And just those last four shots, like the first two were just like good offense, and he just was able to knock them down. And then after that, it's just special to watch it. I mean, you can see like the bench reaction when he's shooting them. We're all just losing our mind, like. I think that was the cool part. It was just like we compete against each other at a high level the whole year, but now like just that mutual respect that what we're watching is special. This is all time. This is one of the best players ever in touch of basketball, and just to be a part of a team like that, it was cool.
I was gonna say, is there something with him in particular in the way that this is we've talked about this before, and I feel like this has been a thing with him his whole career, but just the way he plays. And the theatrics of it, and he's just the showmanness quality of it. So it's not just the numbers. It's like you have to see it as like you're watching a thing in real time, where you're like, whether you're watching on TV or you're in the game with them, where you're like, because you can see the faces of everybody from Bron and KD on down of being like, they're going like what the fuck, like what do we do when he's going crazy like that? And so is there a showman quality to that is just like it's hard to believe even while it's happening?
Yeah, I just think like Steph hits a couple threes in a row, and it's kind of like the other team kind of just forgets how to play basketball a little bit. Like I was like joking around. I was like, Steph hit that last three, and he's just running around in circles, not even playing defense, and like they get a wide open three, and it doesn't seem like they that the makes on that is definitely a lower percentage. I feel like for some reason, I don't know what it is, but just the way he carries himself. I mean, just the consistency from day in and the work he puts in, and then like in the big stage, the big moments, like he wants the ball, he wants that challenge, and he definitely rises to the occasion.